Hello everyone, and I would like to show you one more very interactive chess game by Raul Capablanca. And his opponents were allies, which means his opponents were two chess players and they were consulting each other for every single move against the legend Raul Capablanca. And this consultation game was played in 1920 in London, England. So Capablanca had the white pieces, and I like to show this chess game because this is actually a very typical chess game of Capablanca. He actually played so many chess games like this one. So let's check out what happened in this chess game. D4 by Capablanca, D5 and then C4. E6, so we have Queen's Gambit declined, Knight to F6, Bishop to G5, Knight from B to D7, E3, Bishop to E7, Knight to C3, A6, and developing the pieces, capturing the pawn, bishop takes on C4, B5, bishop to D3, bishop to B7, and then A4 by Capablanca. So attacking the B pawn, B4, attacking the knight. Well, in this position, Capablanca captured the knight, bishop takes on F6, knight takes on F6. Well, you can't take back with the bishop because in this position, if bishop takes on F6, then bishop takes on H7. And after moving the king, it looks like this is both threatening to trap the bishop with pushing the pawn and attacking the knight. But white has a saving move in this position, and that is bishop to E4. So attacking the bishop on B7. So capturing the knight and then capturing the bishop. Bishop takes on B7, defending the rook. Bishop to C6, C takes on B2, rook over to B1. And as you can see, white has the advantage. So it looks like the B pawn is going to fall. So okay, in this position after B4, bishop takes on F6, knight takes on F6, not capturing back with the bishop because Capablanca is eyeing on H7, and then knight to E4, and simplifying the game, bishop takes on E4. Well, obviously in this position, black doesn't have much options because Capablanca is threatening to take the knight after capturing back, then capturing on H7. So capturing the knight, capturing back, attacking the rook, knight takes on E4, queen takes on E4, and then in this position, actually Capablanca has slight advantage, and even slight advantage is good enough for Capablanca to win any chess game. So that was the brilliancy of Raul Capablanca. He was creating small weaknesses at his opponent's camp, and he was basically exploiting those weaknesses constantly and waiting for his opponents to make a blunder, a mistake, and then he was attacking his opponents relentlessly in the endgame and winning the game after simplifying the game. So that was a typical day for Capablanca. That was the typical style of Raul Capablanca. So in this position, actually, we can see the slight weakness for black. The C pawn is looking weak, and also in this position, the bishop is very bad. Black has a bad bishop and Capablanca has a good knight. So this is the difference between the knight and the bishop. So we have C5 trying this against Capablanca. In this position, Capablanca could play, I'm not 100% sure because I didn't analyze this very deeply with the engine, but you can see that the C pawn is a pawn island. He can play rook to C6, fixing the C pawn and castling, doubling the rooks, and this pawn looks like it is going to fall. Black can try to defend, but you can remaneuver the knight and place the knight in a very active square, and then it looks like defending this is not so easy. So even losing one pawn is actually pretty decisive against Raul Capablanca. So black is trying this. He felt that the C pawn is a weakness, so capturing and double attacking the A and the C pawn. Which pawn is more important? Of course, the A pawn. Capablanca is pushing the pawn, and then bishop takes on C5. But actually this move has a weakness, this move has a downside. What would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? Can you guess the best move for white in this position? Well, the move is knight to g5 by Capablanca, and he is threatening checkmate. Queen takes on h7. So this move is actually a very important move, because with this move Capablanca is creating weakness at the black's king side. So g6, but in this position, of course, this would be blundering the checkmate. And in this position, if something like this is also going to blunder the e-pawn, and then knight check, rook takes, queen takes rook, and this is also losing. So knight to g5 is creating weakness in the black's camp. So g6 and then queen over, and it is creating even more weaknesses. So Capablanca is threatening checkmate, and the only defense is pushing the pawn. And then knight to e4 by Capablanca, attacking the bishop, so defending with the rook, rook over, and then queen to g5, hitting the bishop again. So defending and exchanging. And in this position, if capturing the rook, then king up, attacking the rook and attacking the bishop. So bishop takes on a5, king to e2, connecting the rooks. Capablanca, if you noticed, he didn't even castled. So rook to c7, rook to c4, rook to d7, knight to e4, and then simplifying the game. This is the typical style of Capablanca. Rook takes on d1, king takes on d1, rook over, and then king to e2, rook to d5. So defending the a-pawn is also looking very difficult. Rook to c6, and then a5, knight to d2. And basically Capablanca wants his knight on c4 and then attacking the pawn, so king to g7. But in this position, if you would play something like rook to d6, of course if you play rook to c5, then capturing the knight with check, after capturing the rook. So this is the plan of Capablanca, checking the king. After king goes down, rook to a8, and the knight is going to come on c4 and then attacking the pawn, and defending is not easy, as you can see. So okay, so in this position, instead of moving the king, what happens if blocking with the rook? Then this was the idea of Capablanca, attacking the bishop. Black has to defend, so after defending, knight to c4 and rook over, attacking the pawn, or rook to c5 attacking is next. So you can see that Capablanca has the superior position, and he is creating slight small weaknesses in his opponent's camp and targeting those weaknesses in the endgame. So this is the typical style of Capablanca. I said this millions of times, I know. But interestingly, Capablanca, with his very simple style, with this style, he has won hundreds or even thousands of chess games in his chess career. So simple chess, but very effective. Knight to d2, king to g7, knight to c4, and placing the knight in a very beautiful square. Bishop back, defending the a-pawn, and then pushing the pawn, rook to d4. Well, actually this e4 move was also very nice. So in this position, if moving the rook here, so as you can see, defending the a-pawn and also attacking the g-pawn, but white can play king to f3, h4, e5, and rook to c8 are some of the moves, some of the alternative moves for white. So if pushing the e-pawn, that is blocking the rook. If pushing the h-pawn, that is basically trapping the rook. Black can try something like pushing the pawn, but white will push the pawn. So for example, if this move, we can push the pawn, and actually you can see that the rook is in lockdown. This is a terrible position for black. We can swing the rook and capture the pawn and create a passer. So defending this against Capablanca is not easy. He is pushing the pawn after defending the rook. Simply a prophylactic move, defending the e-pawn. After rook to d7, finally the killer blow by Raul Capablanca. And black can't defend this a-pawn. King to f6, simply capturing and creating a passed a-pawn. So rook down, and then rook to b5. And Basically, Capablanca is pushing the pass pawn, defending with the rook, pushing the pawn and going behind the pawn. It looks like black is defending the pawn just on time, but this is just an illusion. Can you see what white can play here and how to win this chess game? Capablanca played the move and his opponents, the allies, resigned against Jose Raul Capablanca. So what would you do in this position? If I give you a couple of seconds, can you guess the next move? It is a very simple deflection move, of course. I'm sure 99% of you have seen that move, but I'm still asking this question for the beginner level players. Okay, so Capablanca simply played rook to b6 and black resigned. This is checking the king and also attacking the rook, and black resigned because if capturing the rook, then pushing the pawn and creating a queen. So this is all over. So this was the beautiful aesthetic finish by Jose Raul Capablanca, and this is the only possible continuation. So white is creating a queen, and this is easily winning for white. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time with more exciting, amazing chess games from the history of chess. So stay safe, take care, and bye bye.